Hello, my name is Brianna, and I'm a survivor of domestic violence. Before I start, I wanted to warn that there are videos and pictures that might be triggering and to skip if needed. The reason I wanted to share my story was to help people understand DV, otherwise known as domestic violence, and how to see the signs that you are entering into a potentially abusive relationship, how to leave, and how to help a family, friend, or coworker going through domestic violence. I was scared to speak up because of embarrassment of letting it happen to me, but it isn't something to be ashamed of because I survived, I left, and now I'm thriving. Please share this video with someone who needs motivation to leave, someone who doesn't know how hard it is to leave a DV situation, or share in general so that someone who needs my story finds it and they get the support they need. My goal is to be able to help at least one person or motivate someone to leave. October is known as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. 1 out of every 4 women you know are either in a domestic violence relationship or have experienced DV in their lifetime. I will start when I was a friend to someone in a DV relationship. My first instinct when they told me about the abuse was to tell them to leave, and not understanding why they wouldn't. I thought they were stupid, and that is usually the response among people who are told about DV situations. But what they don't understand is that leaving is actually the hardest and most dangerous time in a DV relationship. There are stages that occur to get to that level of abuse, and it doesn't start off right away, which I will touch on in a moment. If someone comes to you to share about their experience of what they're going through, listen. Don't tell them to leave. Chances are they are already isolated, and you telling them to leave will make them push you away too. Let them know that you are there to help if needed. Make a safety plan to leave without the abuser knowing. Give them resources. Remember, don't push as they are already being controlled and are likely scared to leave. Check in with them. There are 5 steps recommended to support a friend. They are listening without judgment, give them a safe space, validate what they are feeling, and ask them how you can help. You can also educate yourself on the matter and help them make a plan. On average, it takes about 7 times leaving the abuser to finally do it. Unfortunately, not everyone leaves, and not everyone makes it out alive. If you think someone you know is being abused, look out for the following signs. Repeated unexplained injuries. For women, more makeup than they used to wear. Canceled plans or avoiding communication about partners. Personality shifts showing more submission and sadness. If they're getting skinnier or heavier. They don't seem to be the same person they were before the relationship. There are many signs, but those are some of them. Most of the time it's isolation, so you won't see or hear from them as much as you did before. Early signs to look out for going into a relationship. They look for empathetic people or people with low self-esteem. They are generally good at reading people and are very charming. They never accept blame and are quick to gaslight. They are experts at lying and denying and generally are self-obsessed. They are a bit harder to see, but they get jealous, try to control you, are generally quick to anger. These actions aren't shown towards you when you first start. Generally, it'll be a whirlwind romance, lots of love bombing, close and happy moments, opening up, building trust. But the closer you get, the more this will show. I was with my abuser for 10 years, 4 of which didn't have physical violence towards me, and many happy moments. As soon as we lived together, within the first month, things got violent. But he had built up this fantasy life with me in my head and slowly chipped away at my friends and family and my confidence before he ultimately had total control over me. The first time it occurred, they promise it will never happen again, and that is the beginning of the cycle. If they hit you once, they will do it again, and it gets worse every time. The reason they start off great is to build that trust so that when they say it won't happen again, you believe them, and you become addicted to the high of their love, which they will ultimately use against you, holding it from you. The cycle of abuse will reinforce the trauma bond. I went from seeing my family every day, talking to them daily, posting on social media, having a lot of close friends, to rare communication with family. No friends, and extreme self-hatred, self-blame, no social media, and no contact to reach out to for help. Living in extreme fear, I was told that if I ever left, he would kill me and my family. I felt stuck, scared to come home every day for 6 years. I tried to leave multiple times, even after the first incident, but you end up being so broken down that you think that maybe with time it will get better, or you start to believe their lies, that it's your fault that they are doing this. It's a horrible mental space to be in, not knowing if today would be your last day on earth. You feel alone, you feel broken, you feel helpless and stuck. You become numb, you endure their anger, you become someone you thought you never would be. Before I dive deeper, let me explain the cycle. It starts with 4, but will ultimately shift to 3 different phases the longer the abuse is endured. It starts with the honeymoon phase, which is lots of love and affection, feeding your dopamine levels. Then it will start with tension, so fights, threats, mind games, gaslighting, and then explosion, which is the violence. Lastly, remorse, guilt, promises, lots of excuses, and extreme love bombing. This cycle will build the trauma bond, and much like a drug addict, this will feed your levels of dopamine, which will become so high when you're in the honeymoon phase and the remorse phase, and then it will be taken away during tension and explosion. You will feel hopeless when you leave, and your need for their love will trigger a dopamine craving. So you'll go back to your DV relationship because it is what you're used to, and they will show you remorse and love bombing, which will give you that dopamine high you were craving. You'll tell yourself that things will get better, but you know that they won't. You use excuses for your partner's actions. You are used to them throwing blame on you, so you start to accept it. The highs and the lows in a DV relationship are what keep you there. You remember how good things used to be, how amazing they used to treat you, and the hope of who they were, and hope that maybe with time the abuse will stop and that things will go back to this. This is the false promise that they will feed you to keep you in this relationship. My abuser didn't just physically abuse me, he mentally, financially, and constantly cheated on me. In many situations, the women cannot leave because he is the controller of the money. In my case, I was the one working, bringing home the money, and you might ask yourself, wouldn't it have been easier for me to leave in that case? And the answer is no, because you are broken down to the point that you feel dependent on them. He had total control of my life, what I did daily, what our friends looked like, which were actually his friends, what we spent on. I was scared to say no. I lost myself in the relationship. I was no longer happy. I felt like a zombie every day. Enduring the violences, knowing after there would be highs again. I would look at myself in the mirror at times, not recognizing myself. All the pictures and videos I had hidden and actually deleted many out of fear of him seeing them and hurting me again. I remember praying to God every day that I would survive. My abuser would silence my screams for help, would break my cell phone so I couldn't call for help, block doorways so I couldn't get out, hide my car, broke many different items. They call you out of your name and they put you down. I've been strangled, hit, thrown, spit at. Survivors endure a lot of pain and emotional pain. And then they're love bombed and the cycle continues, becoming normal. I lost many jobs, got kicked out of different apartments due to DV. There were multiple occasions where I tried to leave, and I did, and on multiple occasions where I came running back because even though they were the ones who hurt you, your need for their love pulls you back. Leaving makes you feel like maybe you were wrong, maybe things can get better. You start to believe their lies, and you're scared of their threats. He went to jail 2 times for DV, and I still accepted his phone calls. I actually was convinced to bail him out one of the times, and that is actually pretty common. They make you feel as if life cannot go on without them. I literally felt unable to move or breathe when I was away. The last and final time I left for good, I left almost everything I owned. I left while he wasn't home, and I took some of my items, took my cats, and I moved. I told myself I deserved better and that I was being held back from everything I once loved, who I used to be. I took the steps. I made sure that this time I didn't run back, and it was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. I couldn't eat, and when I did, my body would throw it back up. I was on end, ready to cry at any moment's notice. I had nightmares. I was scared. Just because you leave doesn't mean the abuser just leaves you alone either. It was a combination of threats to myself, my family, my job, and love bombing and apologies. Your body will actually react and make you think that you made the wrong choice, but you didn't. Keep strong, keep no contact, keep moving, seek therapy. I went to Peace Over Violence and had free therapy sessions, did dance movement, yoga, different ways to release the pain I endured those years, and the longing I felt for him. As a survivor, I can tell you it isn't easy to live with the pain that was caused and how easily it is to be triggered. But by not being silenced and telling bits of my story, I hope that I can help someone out there find their voice and find the strength to leave. It does get better. Your life is worth so much more than what you are being told. You will bloom. Take the time to learn who you are again, but please don't go back. Your life is worth more than that. My defining factor of what helped me finally leave was my father passing away and seeing all the time I missed from my family, and the Gabby Patino case. It shook me to my core that I could be the next her, that my family could mourn my loss if I stayed in a relationship. So find your strength, know your resources, and leave. I know I centered this from a woman's experience, but know that men are affected from domestic violence too. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-SAFE or 7233. If you want to gain a better understanding of DV, read It Ends With Us series by Colleen Hoover. Don't watch the movie as it glamorizes and skips over the bigger issues. Thank you for watching. Don't be afraid to speak up. You are strong and you can leave. Your life will get better. I'm sending you my love. Thank you for watching, and feel free to please reach out to me if you need support or better understanding. Thank you.